Welcome to the start of my color theory series. I was thinking about just making one of those little diagram videos, but then I decided that, you know what, I wanted to take a more traditional approach to this. So I'm gonna have this video where I show you the different elements of color theory and color harmony, and then I'm going to make a series of paintings where I actually implement the practices so that you guys can see it in more of an immersive way rather than me just putting a bunch of diagrams on the screen and then telling you good luck as you go to start your painting. So essentially this is going to teach you the terminology that you need to understand so that I can use that terminology while I make the paint with me videos where I show you how all of this comes together. Originally I was going to make this a patron only series, but I decided that it was some information that everyone should have access to, and I'll go into further depth on my Patreon and probably do a couple more videos about how I implement it into my work, but I figured that I wanted to make this available to all of you guys. So first I'm going to teach you about the qualities of color, and then we'll get into color harmony, and then as the series goes on I'll be making paint with me videos where you can see how I'm implementing color harmony, and I'll have a voiceover as well to physically tell you how I'm implementing the color harmony. Just a little disclaimer, I'm going to be focusing on the RYB color system, which is a subtractive color system for painters, and that's why I'm showing this in the more traditional way rather than using diagrams. So the magical color wheel is made when you mix the primaries to make the secondary colors, and then you mix those two together to make the tertiary colors. And now we come to the qualities of color. The first one we all know is the hue, and that is basically the color on the color wheel. So the chroma is how pure the hue is, the saturation is how strong or weak it is, the shade is how dark it is, and the tint is how light it is by adding white. Complementary colors are across from each other on the color wheel, and they are really good for when you need high contrast. Split complementary is the same idea, but it gives a little bit more variation. And with triadic, you can see where our primary and secondary colors come from. And don't let me lose you with tetradic. It's a lot easier to see on a palette than on here. And with analagous, just think like a clock and take 2 to 4 shades that are all next to each other on the color wheel. Now for me, this is so internalized that I don't even think about it when I'm making a painting, and it just kind of intrinsically comes to me. But I'm going to be making quite a few intentional paintings as part of this series that are going to show you just how those color harmonies and those qualities work together. So I hope that you guys are going to enjoy this more hands-on approach, and I encourage you to stick around and hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in a little bit for the first video in this educational series.